Be serious when it comes to serious things. This is the time to get serious. Have scholars at Birmingham University in England found what could possibly be the oldest Quran in existence? Muslims all over the world were celebrating as news was revealed regarding the Birmingham Folios. Finally, science had proved categorically that the Quran was from the mid-7th century, as Muslims had been taught by their leaders and scholars. The carbon dating from the laboratory in Oxford had dated the Birmingham Folios from 568 to 645 AD. Muhammad lived from 570 to 632 AD, so these folios would have been written while Muhammad was living, making them the earliest Quranic material anywhere in the world. Until now, all of the earliest Quranic manuscripts have been dated from the 8th to the 10th centuries, 200 to 300 years after the Quran was alleged to have been revealed to Muhammad, which is just too late to be of any worth historically and problematic for Muslims. While the carbon dates for the goatskin parchment may be accurate, is the dating of the text? And furthermore, is what's written even from Muhammad, or actually Muhammad's teaching? In reality, a complete Quran was not found. The document, referred to as the Birmingham Folios, in actuality is just 2 pages, front and back, from what could be a larger manuscript. In fact, the text only represents a mere 33 verses from the Quran. So only 33 verses out of a possible 6,236 which make up the Quran. These verses come from 3 surahs, surahs 18, 19, and 20, which have a total of 343 verses. So 33 verses out of a total of 343, making only 10% of those surahs. Furthermore, when critically examined, these 33 verses are found to be excerpts from 3 stories, which have been plagiarized from early Christian and Jewish writings. Surah 18 verses 17 to 31 is the story of the 7 sleepers of Ephesus, written about by the Syrian bishop Jacob of Sarug in 512 AD, almost 60 years before Muhammad was born, and 100 years before the Quran was even revealed. Surah 19, verses 91 to 98, is an account taken from the Proto-Evangelion of James, first compiled in 145 AD, and then repeated in the Pseudo-Gospel of Matthew in 600 AD. This account predates Muhammad and the Quran by over 400 years. Surah 20, verses 1 to 40 is part of the story of Moses, taken from the Old Testament, which was first written in 1400 BC, 2,000 years before the Quran was ever compiled. These 3 stories predate Islam, predate Muhammad, and most definitely predate the Quran by many years. And even if the date are correct, and this is in reality a few pages from an actual early Quran, this would mean that the standard Islamic narrative is wrong about the compiling of the Quran, as the Uthmanic Quran was not supposed to have been compiled until 652, and these folios predate that by 7 years. Can you see the problem here?
It's very clear to you and to every single very advanced student and specialist that the standard narrative has holes in it.
The 33 verses found in the Birmingham Folios are nothing more than examples of pre-Islamic, pre-Muhammad, pre-Uthmanic, and pre-Quranic text, stolen and then copied and pasted into the Quran sometime during the 8th and 9th centuries. These 3 stories in the Quran were plagiarized from Jewish and Christian writings all earlier than the Quran itself. And the documents called the Birmingham Folios were probably valued parchments all written in Arabic belonging to Arab-speaking Christians who lived before the time of the Quran and Islam.